The former governor of Colorado, John Hickenlooper, announced his run for president today. Hickenlooper served 2 terms as a Democrat before leaving office earlier this year. He started his career as a geologist for a Colorado oil company. After being laid off, he opened Denver's first craft brewery pub with 3 of his buddies, which grew into a chain of restaurants across the Midwest. The 67-year-old joins a crowded Democratic primary field. So far, 12 people have either launched official campaigns or exploratory committees. Here's how Hickenlooper tried to differentiate himself this morning.
What sets you apart?
Well, I think I'm really the one candidate out there that has a very strong record of bringing people together and getting things done. We got the oil and gas industry to work with the environmental community to create methane regulations. We're almost 100% coverage in health care. We're a purple state that got universal background checks passed.
And joining me now from Denver is Colorado Sun political reporter John Frank. John, welcome. Great to have you with us. Can you walk us through some of Hickenlooper's accomplishments as governor there in Colorado?
There are 3 main accomplishments that the governor's really focusing on in this campaign. He mentioned health care a good bit. This is expanding Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act. That's put us to above 90% health insurance coverage in Colorado. Not all that coverage is affordable, but it is spread throughout the state. The second issue is climate change. He's focusing on his work with the oil and gas industry as well as environmentalists to put in place methane emissions to clamp down on that pollution from rigs in Colorado. And the third issue would definitely be the economy. He has touted how Colorado went from 40th in job creation to #1 during his tenure. He certainly deserves some credit for that, but of course not all of the credit.
And politically, then, how does the former governor compare with the rest of the Democratic field, would you say?
The governor abhors labels, but he has in the past called himself an extreme moderate, a common sense progressive, or even a centrist. This is the path he sees through the current Democratic primary, which is filled with a lot of partisan noise. He sees a room for a pragmatist with some ideas to get things done. Now, in his debut, he was pretty short on those ideas. He didn't quite outline a vision for the future, but I just spoke to him moments ago, and he talked about improving health care coverage across the state, as well as putting a more urgency into addressing climate change, which is an issue we haven't heard much from him in his first term as governor here, but one that's become more urgent here in recent years.
Definitely. Healthcare and climate change, 2 big issues across the board for the Democrats. Now, meanwhile, Hickenlooper's former chief of staff, Senator Michael Bennet, is reportedly also considering running for president. What can you tell us about him, and will that be an awkward situation for the 2 of them?
The 2 are good friends. Hickenlooper just called him one of his biggest allies and friends when I spoke to him a moment ago. The governor doesn't see the 2 candidates canceling each other out, but it sure looks like they're appealing to the same set of voters. The difference is the experience they bring to the table. The governor has a business in restaurants, obviously, as a mayor and then governor, where Michael Bennet came from the business world into the U.S. Senate. So he has some Washington experience and a lot more presence on the national and international stage. So Governor Hickenlooper told me he sees their skill sets complementing each other. But that said, Colorado is not quite running together as a ticket in this campaign right now.
That's right. And it's been a while since we've had a Western Democrat at the head of the ticket. So we'll see what happens. All right, Colorado Sun political reporter John Frank, thank you so much.
My pleasure.